Welcome to the Smart Business Revolution.
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 You want a revolution?
You say you want a revolution?
Revolution. The revolution.
It's going on right now.
Welcome to The Revolution, the Smart Business Revolution podcast, where we ask today's most successful entrepreneurs to share the tools and strategies they use to build relationships and connections to grow their revenue. Now, your host for The Revolution, John Corcoran.
Hey, everybody. This is John Corcoran with Dr. Jeremy Wise, and this episode is a little bit different. This is a live interview that we recorded at the Global Leadership Conference from Entrepreneurs Organization, where some of the best entrepreneurs from around the globe gathered in Washington, D.C. to share ideas and to learn about entrepreneurship. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25, where we help B2B businesses to give to and to connect to their Dream 100 relationships and partnerships, helping you to run a podcast so that it generates a referral pipeline and ROI.
Yeah, I mean, John, after both of us have been podcasting for over a decade, the number one thing in our life is relationships. And we're always looking at ways to give to our best relationships. And we found no better way to do that over the past decade than to profile the people and companies we admire and shout from the rooftops what they're working on. And this interview is no different. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should go to rise25.com to learn more, or email us at support@rise25.com.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the interview.
Enjoy.
All right, John Corcoran, I'm here at the Global Leadership Conference put on by EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, and I'm here with Dr. Carrie Santos, who is the CEO of EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. And for those who don't know anything about EO, tell us a little bit about what it is and kind of how you give the short little elevator pitch.
Right. Well, Entrepreneurs Organization is not for the early startup. It's for the person who has already achieved a fair amount of success, but can't grow to that next level because they are working too hard. They are grinding it out week after week. I'm thinking of a member I know here in DC, Ron, who met EO members. He's like, how do you guys have time to go to forum? How do you have time to learn? How do you have time to go out to dinner? And they said, Guy, you got to stop working 100 hours a week. That's what EO teaches you, how to delegate, how to do your strengths, and how to empower other people to do the other things so that you can do more, you can be in your best power, and your business can grow.
And of course, there's this path of leadership that people talk about. It is an option for EO members to get more involved as a leader, and this conference is for many of those emerging leaders. So talk a little bit about that role.
It's really interesting for most of our members because they're used to working in their organization where they're the boss. They're the beginning, the end, the decision maker. They dictate down how things go. If you want to up your leadership skills, you have to learn how to influence your peers. And influencing your peer entrepreneurs is extremely difficult. You're going to up your leadership game and use those skills in anything with your clients, with your customers, with your suppliers. And that ability to grow beyond maybe what you're able to do in your own business and become a better leader, it gives back to you and your business and your family in ways you can't imagine.
And now we're recording this in April of 2022. We've just been through a very tough period of the pandemic and then war in Europe. And you gave a speech yesterday highlighting some of the amazing work that EO members, EO Poland chapter has done. You want to highlight some of the things that you've been seeing?
Yeah, I am extremely lucky that I've been able to visit our EO chapter in Poland and the Southeast Europe chapter in Romania to see how private business is making a huge difference in this massive humanitarian crisis. The private sector in these countries are stepping in. So we're at a trade expo in Warsaw. The trade expo shut down. The business owners of those expos said, no more expos. We're opening this up and we're going to house 10, 15,000 refugees. And just in a place like this, it's kind of amazing that people are so giving of what they have to offer. It's like, I have a roof, I've got bathrooms, let's set it up. And then our members come in, they've been giving blankets and hygiene items and anything you can imagine to help keep that private enterprise going.
And you worked in the State Department, you worked in the Red Cross, helping refugees. So it's kind of like your previous world and your current world colliding here. You join an organization of entrepreneurs, and then you kind of the two are colliding. But what's that perspective like for you, having experienced this before and now being a part of it with this organization.
Right. I never imagined when I left the refugee section in the State Department that it would have anything to do with my work here at EO, but it feels like some amazing alignment of the heavens and the stars, that when we had members in Poland trying to understand a little bit more about how the UN agencies work or how the Red Cross works, that I've been able to share my network, my background, because actually the entrepreneurs are great at solving problems and being that glue. They just want to learn a little more and up their game. But I feel so blessed to be working with people who are moving faster than governments can move and moving faster than the UN can move. It's just amazing to see.
Yeah. Any final thoughts for people watching at home, EO members who are thinking about coming to a future GLC?
The amazing thing is who you're going to brush up against in the meal line. You know, you're like getting your salad, and here's somebody from Tanzania, here's somebody from Gurgaon, India, and you'll sit down at a table with them and you'll start talking and find out you like all the same authors. It's just amazing. You've read the same books. And of course, because it's EO, you're talking about learning. You're talking about books and authors, the kind of thing that does not happen in your regular life. And that learning, you know, people constantly giving each other referrals. Oh, listen to this podcast. Oh, I know exactly what's right for you. Just really sharing and powering up together our learning. It's amazing. All of that brain power and all that heart coming together.
We've been talking with Dr. Carrie Santos here at the EO GLC Conference 2022. Thank you, Dr. Santos, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Smart Business Revolution podcast with John Corcoran. Find out more at smartbusinessrevolution.com. And while you're there, sign up for our email list and join the revolution.
Revolution.
And be listening for the next episode of the Smart Business Revolution podcast.